What's the feeling of the team today coming off what happened at Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely disappointed in the outcome. Not what we prepared for, not what we worked all season for, all season for, and definitely not the outcome we wanted. So, I mean, we're definitely disappointed, but, there's nothing we can go back and do now and change it. So, we just got to get better from here, watch the tape, see what we can, fix and get better on and, just keep improving.
What's the focus now? You guys think you could find your way back into the playoff situation, or what's the mindset?
Right. I mean, definitely. I'd be lying if I said, we didn't want to make it to the playoffs. But I think right now, our focus is getting back on track, beating Louisville, and I think, if we went out, I think things would take care of itself. But our focus now is just, beating, Louisville next week or this week.
Hey Jordan, how do you think you guys can get back on track offensively?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely about, studying the tape. Last week or, Saturday came kind of as a shock to me. I felt like we prepared well. And, I felt like guys were locked in all week. I felt before the game, guys, seemed super locked in, everything like that. So, it was just kind of, a shock. Like, it almost didn't feel real, at times. But, I think the only thing we can do, we have a group, with a bunch of guys who care, who want to get better. So, we just got to go study the tape, see, what we did wrong and, see how we can, correct those mistakes.
Beyond just Saturday, thinking back to like the Boston College game when you had a lot of 3 and outs,
right.
And then Florida State, there were some lulls, and then of course Syracuse. Do you agree that there's been kind of a unexpectedly downward trajectory with the offense recently, and if so, what are your sort of what do you chalk it up to?
Right. I mean, there's definitely been times where we've, stalled out and things like that, which, that's not what we want for sure. And, I think our biggest thing is, we kind of preach on the offensive side of the ball. It's kind of doing your 1 of 11. And I feel like, when we have mistakes or when we stall out or don't, finish drives is because maybe, 10 people are doing, what they're supposed to do, and maybe one person's not, doing the correct thing. And, playing offensive football, you need 11 people on the same page at all times. So we just got to get back to, the small things, the little things that, were helping us be successful in the beginning. And I think, we got a bunch of guys who want to be great, who want to fix those mistakes. So, I feel confident in, what we can do going forward.
Obviously, Jordan, DJ's not showing the form that he showed earlier in the year, especially these past 2 games. So you guys still have, total confidence in what he can do?
Yeah, forward? I mean, being around DJ for, the last 3 years, like, I still, don't have any doubt in him. Like, I still believe in him 100%, and, he's a, a battle, he's a warrior. He bounced back, from last season, what everybody else was saying about him, and I don't think anything will change now. I think, he'll, find the mistakes, things that he did wrong, and I think he'll, come back and bounce back and fix those things. But I know for myself personally, and I'm talking to the O-line and everybody else, in the offense, I know, we still have 100% belief in him.
I'm sorry.
Being a veteran on the offense, how do you take it upon yourself to kind of motivate the guys going into this next game and kind of regroup after the Notre Dame game?
Yeah, for sure. I think, especially at this point, being 8-1 and kind of the loss that we had, it's big for me to kind of step up and, lead more verbally now than anything. And just telling the guys that, to kind of flush it. Like, there's nothing we can go back and do now to beat Notre Dame. So we got to flush it, and, we got to worry about what lies in front of us. And right now, Louisville, is our next opponent. And, we got to pour everything, that we have into beating them.
It seems like when things start to go bad for DJ, they kind of unravel a little bit. Can you see any of that in the huddle? Does he change at all in the huddle with you guys?
Yeah, no, he definitely doesn't. Like, no matter what, he stays himself. He's himself at all times, and that's what I respect about him. The highs and the lows, whether we're playing bad up front or no matter the circumstance, he's the same person. And he's been like that even against Syracuse, where they replaced him with Cade. Like, he was the same person cheering us on, the same person wanting us to be successful. So, that's one of the biggest things I respect about him is, through the ups and downs, no matter what, he's always the same person, and being a teammate, like, you have to respect that.
I guess how would you evaluate how you guys played up front? I mean, do you feel like you helped him enough? Or?
I mean, there's definitely like room that we can improve. Like I know I gave up this sack that like I'm supposed to protect him, so I can't give up that and different things like that. But like we definitely have to do better, up front to give him the time to make those reads, make those throws, So we got to get back to making him feel super comfortable like he was earlier in the season.
I guess the difference between Syracuse, you guys almost get 300 yards rushing to this game, where it wasn't always there. I mean, is it something Notre Dame was doing schematically, or was it just you guys not exactly hitting on assignments?
I think a little bit of both. Like I think Syracuse had a good game plan of, they were physical as well, but I think they had a good game plan for sure. But there's still things that we, after watching the film yesterday, there's a lot of things that we could do better. As far as communication, hat placement, to hat it up better for Ship and Moffa to give them lanes to run through.
After that Syracuse game, was it kind of surprising to you that you weren't able to just smash them like you did in that game and do something similar to what Notre Dame was doing?
I think, for us, we knew we would get, Notre Dame's best. We know we're going to get everyone's best. So I knew they were going to come out and, play physical, have a good game plan. But, it was definitely kind of disappointing there at different times in the games that we weren't, doing, what we were supposed to do. But I think, I think our guys played really hard. And there are spots, on the film where you can see that we, dominated and moved people and played well. But we just got to be more consistent, in moving people and creating lanes to run through.
Jordan, what have you seen so far out of Louisville's defense, and how do you think you, as one of the older players, will try and prevent letting the disappointment of this week kind of linger, or last week linger?
For sure. We actually just finished watching a little bit of Louisville, but they have a good defense. I think they're bringing a lot of guys back, and they play physical. So it's definitely going to be a tall task for us. We're definitely going to have to play well to win the game. And as far as trying to get everybody to focus on this week, kind of like I said earlier, just preaching to the team. After we have the meeting today and kind of discuss what happened Saturday, just flush it. Like there's literally nothing we can go back and do now. Only thing we can do is continue to get better. Like even though we lost Saturday, our season's not over. We still got a lot of things to play for. So just kind of letting everybody know, that we do have things to play for, and that we still have a lot to get better at to be successful.
Was there, I know how disappointed you guys were with Saturday, but was there some joy either on the way home or today in the fact that, you did clinch the ACC Atlantic, you've got a spot in the title game next month, which obviously was one of the goals you had coming into the season?
Honestly, I really haven't thought about it much yet. Just kind of still, a little disappointed about the game, so I really haven't thought about it much. But that's definitely a goal of ours, is to win the division, win the ACC. So with that being said, since we've clinched it, now our job is to go win it all in the ACC.
Your head coach said this meeting Monday is going to be really hard for a lot of people. What do you anticipate? And I'm sure you've seen him critical before, but you anticipate this being on another level?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think this was going to be one of our longer meetings for sure. And, it's, much deserved for sure. We didn't play, up to what we thought, we were capable of playing to. And, there's consequences behind that. Like, we should, whatever the meeting's going to be, like, it should happen. We didn't play well. And, his job is to critique us and, get us to playing, good football. And, we didn't do that. So it's, his job to, get us back on track.
Jordan, is there anything you guys can take from the idea that, hey, 2 years ago you lost at Notre Dame, you came back, you won the ACC title, and went to the playoffs. Last year there were several losses.
For sure.
You closed with 6 straight wins, that you had bounced back from the past.
Yeah, I think what Coach Sweeney has preached about even before the loss to Notre Dame was, they remember kind of November, remember what you do, how you finish. And I think that's our biggest thing right now is, yeah, we're 8-1, and yeah, people will talk about this loss, but at the end of the day, they'll remember, how we finished the season. And, my goal being, my last season here, is just to finish well. And, we have a veteran group, a bunch of seniors on this team, and, I know everybody else wants to finish well, so that's what we're kind of preaching to the guys.
When you take anything from last year, starting 4-3, and the way you finished? I mean, did you learn a lot about?
Yeah, definitely. At being 4-3, I think you definitely learn a lot about what kind of team you have, and to start 4-3 and finish 10-3 or whatever it was is a big accomplishment, and it just shows the culture in this program, and what kind of guys we have in the locker room. And I don't think anything's different now. I think we will respond, and I think when we look up at the end of the season, I think we'll be fine. Things will take care of itself.
You mentioned, say it's Belmont, Louisville. I think they're top 15 in the country in sacks, tackles for loss. Been really disruptive. Anything that you see from them as to why you think they've been so disruptive?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have good players, for sure. A veteran group, which means a lot, especially up front. And I think they have a good scheme as well. But in order to beat those guys, we're gonna have to play physical. We're gonna have to communicate, be on the same page, ID things right. So it's not like they're a good team. So it's it's gonna take a lot to get the job done Saturday.
What about their scheme makes it so effective, you feel like?
Right. I think they do a good job of slaying and different things like that. Like you got to have your eyes in the right place, feet on the ground in order to catch that movement. They're not afraid to bring their linebackers, blitz their linebackers, different things like that. So we got to be disciplined, be able to catch movement in order to be successful on Saturday.
Any questions for Jordan from Zoom?
With ClemsonSports.com, it's not like you guys have kind of been struggling all year offensively, and have definitely had some good moments. Just why do you feel like the past couple games it hasn't gone your way?
Yeah, I definitely think I have to give credit to Notre Dame and what they did, and kind of the other teams as well. But I think every week we watch the film, and things that we don't execute on is self-inflicted, and we can't have those issues. Like we can't have 10 people, 9 people doing the right thing and 1 or 2 people doing the wrong thing. Like those are things that kill you on the offensive side of the ball. So we got to get better at making sure everyone, all 11 people on the field, is doing what they're supposed to do.